Hey up, it's Steve from that old Yorkshire Geek, and welcome to my Wednesday midweek live news stream. And I've got some news items for us to have a look at, a bit of everything. But festive greetings for the season and all that. I've got my hat on. And my lab, remember to put my lights on this time. Right, so anyway, Josh Temple's here. Yay, never fear. Maddie's here, harpoon sharp at the ready. I'm glad to hear it because you never know what might be lurking in the dark shadows, ready to jump out at us. Right, we should be live. Well, I think we are. We'll be live on YouTube. Yes, we are. And we should be live on Rumble. If I just refresh that, it should be on now. Fingers crossed. And we're not on Twitch tonight. I'm hoping. Oh, Josh, hang on. How do I mute this tab? Mute site. There we go. And we're live on Kick. I'm trying Kick out for a little bit, so we'll see how we do with that. But we are live on Kick as well. Links in the description. And Sci-Fi Quest is here. How you doing? Hope you've recovered from your birthday celebrations the other day. So don't forget, before we start, don't forget, like and subscribe. I still can't work this out, can I? Didn't think. Like and subscribe, share the videos, drop a comment, hit the notification bell if you're subscribed already. As I said, we're live on YouTube, Rumble, and Kick tonight. Can you kick it? Yes. I can't do Twitch as well because I've only got the StreamYards. What they call it? Not the professional tier. I'm not paying 40 quid a month for that. Bloody hell. So I can only do three different live streams. Later on, I'll upload it to Spotify, Amazon Music Podcasts, and Google Podcasts, and I'll be putting timestamps in the description because the links for all the stories are down in the description, so you can look at the articles there. Blah 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 blah. Right, I make myself teach tiny, and we'll get on with it. There we go. They've changed something. They've changed something in the layout here on StreamYards, and I'm getting confused. Anyway, right, off we go. Off we go. First up, I'm sure I've forgotten something. Have I forgotten something? I don't know. Okay. Anyway, first up, obviously the big news of the week so far has been Jonathan Majors with his stupid face. I'm sorry, he's got a stupid face. He has. He just looks as though he's like permanently surprised. But anyway. So here we go. This is from The Guardian. Who wrote it? How do you pronounce that? Abernay Clayton? No idea. Marvel and Disney drop actor Jonathan Majors hours after guilty assault verdict. They probably were ready to. They had the finger on the trigger, didn't they? They probably have had for a while. Right. Marvel Studios and the Walt Disney Corporation have ended their relationships with the actor Jonathan Majors shortly after he was convicted of assaulting and harassing Grace Jabari, his then girlfriend, the Associated Press reports. Yes, Miss Santa Hat, I remembered. Majors' promising career has been on a rapid descent since the 34-year-old was arrested on 26th of March after getting into a heated conflict with Jabari in a chauffeured SUV on their way to Majors'. You don't need the other S, Abernay. Apartment in the Chelsea neighborhood of New York. I thought it happened in London. This must be a different thing. He was convicted on Monday on 2 of the 4 offences that New York prosecutors charged him with. That's bad grammar. What was it? He was convicted on Monday of 2 of the 4 offences with which he was charged by New York prosecutors. That's probably the proper English, isn't it? Third-degree assault and second-degree aggravated assault. During the 2-week trial, a Manhattan jury heard 4 days' worth of testimony from Jabari, who said that things between her and Majors, spell it. Don't they have proofreaders? It's The Guardian, for God's sake. And Majors turned physical after she noticed romantic texts on Majors' phone. When Jabari grabbed the device from his hands, Majors twisted her arm in a position that caused her excruciating pain and struck her in the head, Jabari told jurors. I thought this were in New York. Not New York, London, where this happened. Oh, obviously, I'm wrong. Majors then took the phone back, got out of the vehicle, and took off running through the streets of Lower Manhattan as Jabari chased behind him. Street surveillance footage presented during the trial showed. As I said, I just swore that were in London. Anyway, the former couple met in 2021 on the set of Marvel's Ant-Man and the Wasp: Quantumania, which was released a month before Majors' arrest. See, they got that wrong. Jabari was working as a movement coach and Majors was playing the time-traveling villain He Who Remains, a.k.a. Kang the Conqueror. Wingrace says, romantic. Such a clean way to describe something that was probably really filthy. Probably. Romantic texts. I'm sure they weren't love poems. I'm sure they weren't. Anyway. Where were we? I forgot where we were now. The film was meant to be the jump-off point for a new cinematic era for the studio and lead to more projects between the actor and Marvel, including both seasons of the Loki series and Avengers. What they got a call on there for? No idea. I think. Oh no, yeah, Avengers: The Kang Dynasty. There should be a comma after that, but they've missed that out. They're hopeless, aren't they? Bloody hopeless. Avengers: The Kang Dynasty, which has been that name's been dropped now, by the way. It's not the Kang Dynasty anymore. It's just been referred to as Avengers 5 until they decide on the title. Set to come out in May 2026, according to Deadline. The feature is still in the script phase as has not begun filming, said a report from The Hollywood Reporter. No director is currently attached. Oh, pardon me. It remains unclear whether the character of Kang will be recast, a la Terrence Howard being replaced by Don Cheadle as Rhodey in Iron Man 2. What they pick him out for? And remain in future films, or if the studio will scrap future projects based around the character altogether and steer the Marvel Cinematic Universe in a new direction, which they should. They should best just scrap everything they're doing and just start again. Marvel did not respond to The Guardian's request for comment on its relationship with Majors by the time of publication. Majors was once considered a rising star in Hollywood. Yes, he was. Rising to prominence in The Last Black Man in San Francisco, never heard of it, and going on to blockbusters such as Devotion, never heard of it, Lovecraft Country, which I watched, and it was all right in places, but, you know, it will work. The Harder They Fall, Da 5 Bloods, and Creed 3. Sci-Fi Quest says, filthy makes me remember the bit in an Al Murray show. I'm not a big fan of Al Murray, to be completely honest. The pub landlord. Anyway. Windgrace says, wonder if they have time to shoot a 10-second scene in Deadpool 3 where he gets really unceremoniously bumped off. You never know. Or they could just have Deadpool destroying the Marvel universe in its entirety somehow. But they've got to start again. Or destroying what are we? 616 or something? I don't know what Earth we're on. Or just destroying our timeline, whatever. And moving on to another one. See, there should be another comma there. Magazine Dreams in which Major stars. Oh no, it didn't. Magazine Dreams in which Major starred as a troubled amateur bodybuilder made a successful debut at the Sundance Film Festival. Blah blah blah. We don't want to know what he's done. He might be doing time, but probably not. According to the Hollywood Reporter, Majors' public relations firm, the lead company or whatever, has dropped the actor. Oh, that's a bad sign, isn't it? He's also been dropped by his managers at Entertainment 360. Majors is set to be sentenced in February and faces up to a year in prison for the third-degree assault charge. This article was amended on 19th December to correct that Don Cheadle replaced Terrence Howard in Iron Man trilogy, not Captain America. Oh, thanks for that confirmation. But I don't think he'll go down. I think he'll get a what they call it, a suspended sentence, more than likely. More than likely. Is it not 616? They're dumb. 616 is the comic universe. Whatever. Movie universe is whatever. Yeah. Okay. Well, I don't bloody know. I don't blooming know. Don't get on my case about. Get all the way off my back about that one, as that fella says in the barely an inconvenience videos. Then. So there we go. So that's it. he's guilty. He's been found guilty in a court of law. So, and they're dropping him like flies, aren't they? Much like we watched in Batman Returns the other night when all of Penguin's cohorts left him at the end, didn't they? And that's what's happening here. I'm not comparing him to a DC villain because he's Marvel, or he was. Anyway. But on a related note, here we go. John Boyega has no interest in replacing Jonathan Majors as Kang. This is from, I've no idea. Who's this? Gaming Bible. Sam Corley. There he is in Force Awakens, and that's Jonathan Majors as Kang. Fans want Star Wars actor John Boyega, do they? All right, to play Kang the Conqueror in the MCU, but he's having none of it. I'm not blaming you, says Wingrace. I'm blaming the movies which refer to it as 616. Fair enough. But still, get off my back. Recent reports confirm that film and TV star Jonathan Majors has been found guilty of assault and will no longer play the supervillain Kang the Conqueror in the Marvel Cinematic Universe. Somebody said it might have been Drunk 3PO, maybe. They should just, if they're going to keep Kang, just have lots of different people playing him. Because they have all these variants, don't they? So just have loads of different people playing Kang, which would be ace. Men and women, dogs, alligators, whatever, penguins. Okay, let me all the way off that thing. Yes, climb down. Let me get, whatever. Right, the actor was charged with third-degree assault. Yes, we know this. Blah, 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 blah. We've read all that bit. His swift departure from future MCU projects has potentially ruined the overall storyline of the franchise's current phase. Well, they're good at doing that, aren't they, at Disney? Remember when they got rid of Thingamabob? Oh, God. Why do I blank on names? As soon as that camera comes on, I'm blanking on names. You know, what's the face from Mandalorian? And that put the kibosh on that series, didn't it? Legend of the Rangers, not Legend of the Rangers, Rangers of the New Republic, that one. So they're good at that. But anyway, I forgot where we are now. Potentially ruined the overall storyline of the franchise's current phase. Gina, what's the face? Yes. What's her name now? Yeah, Gina. Yeah, Gina. Gina, carpet cleaner. Yeah. Anyway, as the upcoming Avengers film, Avengers the Kang Dynasty, pronounce it the American way, has reportedly been renamed to Avengers 5 internally, suggesting a pivot from Kang as the leading villain. Get Doctor Doom in. And the Fantastic Four. By the way, has there been like a leak or something saying that the Fantastic Four are going to be Pedro Pascal as Mr. Fantastic, and I forgot the others. I've read it and I've forgotten. Hang on, I'm going to check now. What the hell? I should have included this, shouldn't I? Maybe I haven't. I've just forgotten. Is that it? Just bear with me. I don't think that's what I'm looking at. No. Find something else. Oh, come on, bloody hell. That's a month ago. That's no good. Let's sort by date. No, that's not it. I don't know. I can't find it. Never mind. I'm not bothered. Right, where are we? Forgot where I was now. Fans don't want Marvel to give up on Kang, though, don't they? Who's these fans? Believing his story has been incredibly interesting so far and could easily continue with a simple recast. While there are plenty of potential faces to choose from, the current fan pick is John Boyega, best known for his role as Finn in the latest Star Wars trilogy. However, Boyega has subtly indicated that he has no interest in taking over the role of Kang, nor any role in the MCU, following a reaction to someone suggesting he step forward for the role. Culture Crave shared the response on Twitter, which showed, or X, which showed a fan asking him directly to speak with Marvel about playing the multiverse villain. Boyega simply replied with a gif of Donkey from Shrek. Donkey! Shaking his head, and it's unlikely he'll change his mind anytime soon. What's that? Go away. And there that is. Fan asked John Boyega to take over as Kang in the MCU. He's not interested. There you go. That's his reply. Donkey. Marvel is going to have to think of something fast, though, whether it be finding a replacement for Majors or shifting focus to a new Avengers-level threat like Doctor Doom or Galactus. So there we go. So John Boyega doesn't want to play him. I didn't even know he was in the... I mean, you know, fans are asking for it. Which fans? I don't know. That one on Twitter, I suppose, but they weren't asking for it. They were just suggesting he might. So that's a fan. A fan. That's not fans, is it? That's a fan. Anyway. So he's not going to be, like I said, they should just get lots of different people to play Kang, shouldn't they? Just of all types. I saw lots of photoshops with him. Not sure where it started. Well, I haven't looked. I'm not that interested, to be completely honest. Anyway. But who else? Somebody else has said like Will Smith and something like that, you know. Give Will Smith a chance. Sorry, this Mickey Meach. Right, anyway, so let's move on. Shall I? See, I've got all my tabs there, you see, so I didn't have to keep going backwards and forwards. But it were handy, going out of it, getting into that. Because when I go and put the timestamps in, I look for that. But never mind. Anyway, let's move on. Here we go. Sticking with Star Wars, but thin Star Wars. I also saw Denzel. Crikey. Basically, every black actor in Hollywood is up for the role. Samuel L. Jackson, even though he's already in it. Who else could they get? Morgan Freeman as old Kang. Hey, go away. Right, Star Wars. This is from Hey You Guys. We've never heard of. Original Star Wars trilogy, except it's not, because I checked. Trilogy to hit the BFI IMAX this December. That's the British Film Institute IMAX this December, which is in London. It doesn't tell you in this. I had to look it up. It's in London on the South Bank. But anyway, wouldn't put it past them to use Michael B. Jordan. You just say he's also a Killmonger variant. Wouldn't be surprised. Right, Star Wars. BFI IMAX has announced an incredibly rare chance to experience Star Wars Episode 4 A New Hope, George Lucas 1977. Except it's not, it's the special editions. Star Wars Episode 5, The Empire Strikes Back, Irving Kershner in 1980, and Star Wars Episode 6, Return of the Jedi, Richard Marquand, 1983, on the UK's largest screen this December. The special editions. So it's not the originals. Of these beloved films will play for an extremely limited time, with all three shown back-to-back on both Friday 29th and Saturday 30th of December before they return to the vault indefinitely. Rarely shown in cinemas, this is an unmissable chance to see the sci-fi trilogy that changed the face of Hollywood on BFI IMAX's 65-foot screen with 12-channel immersive sound. These must-see screenings of the original Star Wars trilogy mark the culmination of the 4-month-long BFI IMAX sci-fi celebration, Sci-Fi Max. See what they did there? Into the future now. Tickets will be on sale here now, and there's a link. The trilogy, we don't want to know. We know the story, don't we? Yes, we know that. So anyway, so there you go. So if you want to go to tickets, there's the link, and that's it. If you want to watch Star Wars, the original trilogy, albeit the special editions, on IMAX, there you go. I've never seen it. I've never been to an IMAX. Never. I've been to my local cinema, and they've got the sort of like small version of IMAX that isn't really IMAX, but you know what I mean. That which essentially just crops part of the regular film image off. I think we went to see Jurassic World, the second one, I think it was, which I forgot what it called. Can't remember what the second one was called. The second Jurassic World one, me and my son went to see it on the quasi IMAX screen. But I think there were some scenes that had like subtitles, where people were speaking a foreign language, and it cut them off. They were on the floor, they're like half. And I thought, well, what's point in that? Anyway. Wingers, the only thing I thought was worthwhile in IMAX was Avatar 1. I said I've never been to an IMAX screen. Never been. And I think I've only been to see maybe 3D films. Avatar, I think Force Awakens, and I think Rogue One. I think they're the only films I've seen in 3D at the cinema. Anyway, so there we go. So I can go anyway. If you're in London on the 29th of December, a week on Friday, you can watch all 3 of the special editions in IMAX. Right, let's move on. Hang on. I saw Avatar Superman Returns, which boasted like 3 scenes in 3D back in the day. Did it? Ah, cool. I didn't see Superman Returns at the cinema. Not a great film, really, is it? It has its moments, but it's not that good, is it, to be honest? Right, what's next? Rumour. Oh, this is from Bounding into Comics, so, could get spicy. Complete with the put on glasses now. Yeah, me and me, the ex-wife went to see, which one was it now? I can't remember. I think it was Nightmare on Elm Street. Is it that Freddy's Dead or something? It's either Freddy's Dead or Jason Goes to Hell. One of them were done in 3D, and they had a thing in that that tells you to put the glasses on. They actually put the glasses on in the film, so you can. I think it was the Freddy one, I think. So you like transports you to the Freddy's 3D realm or something like that. Anyway, right. Rumour, Marvel Studios' upcoming X-Men reboot to centre on female mutants feature Mr. Sinister as villain. Never heard of. As I said, I'm not a comic guy. And I don't know any of them. That's Rogue, isn't it? But that's that was Olivia Munn, I think, wasn't it, in that X-Men film. And don't know what that is. Oh, it says there. Jean Grey, Psylocke, and Rogue struck their stuff on Mark Brooks's variant cover to Uncanny X-Men. Right, okay. Right. In what, if true, would go down as history as perhaps the most predictable Marvel Studios decision of all time, a new whisper on the street has suggested that X-Men's debut outing in the Marvel Cinematic Universe will not focus on any of the titular team's iconic incarnation, but instead tell a story centered on the female mutants amongst their ranks. Because that's a great idea, isn't it? Remember how well that worked for Ghostbusters? Was that Dream Warriors? No, that was the third Freddy will want it. That was Nightmare on Elm Street 3, Dream Warriors. But I think it was like Freddy's Dead or something. Freddy's Dead, Final Nightmare, something like that. Or it could have been Friday the 13th. Jason Goes to Hell. One of them were in 3D, and we went to the pictures to see it. Anyway. And there's more female mutants. And I bet none of them have boobs like that. Be cool if they did. I'd go and watch them. This latest rumor regarding the cinematic return of that went wrong here. Cinematic return of Marvel's merry band of mutants was first raised to the public on December 18th, courtesy of a post made by noted scooper Daniel RPK Richtman to his personal Patreon account. Hang on. Nightmare on Street 3 Dream Warriors 3D for the dream scenes. Did it? Oh, I didn't see it at the pictures, so I don't know. I only saw that on VHS and DVD later, but originally VHS. And it had a cool theme song by Dokken, and the video of which had George Lynch, their guitarist, off his tits on drugs, playing his guitar. Anyway. Right, where were we? Therein, Per a recap provided by numerous outlets, including the @X-Men Reboot fan Twitter account, Ritzman provided 3 new alleged details regarding the X-Men cinematic reboot. Maybe, I bet Elon Musk, that's why Elon Musk is kicking off, isn't it, with Disney? Because of the X-Men. So he now owns X, doesn't he? Formerly known as Twitter. So he's going to sue them for copyright, isn't he? Naming their franchise, their X-Men franchise, after his social media platform. But I know they came first, but he's a billionaire, can do what he wants. Sci-Fi Quest says the VHS had 2 pairs of those card 3D glasses that were terrible. I don't know. I probably rented it, and none of the ones that I've rented or bought, because I think I did buy it on VHS at some point, had 3D glasses. Not the third one, anyway. Imagine they cast Elon as Professor Hex. Yes, exactly. Hey dear. With the X logo from the Twitter, the Twitter X logo on him. I forgot where I was now. Ritzman provided 3 new alleged details regarding the X-Men cinematic reboot, including that Mr. Sinister would serve as its main villain, that Magneto would be left out of its cast, an attempt to differentiate the MCU's mutant films from the previous Fox-helmed ones, excuse me, and that the film's plot would focus squarely on the team's female characters, as I said, because that worked so well with Ghostbusters, didn't it? And there's the tweet from X-Men Reboot. Marvel Studios' current plan for the X-Men reboot includes focus on the female characters. They're not gender changing or whatever, gender swapping. The male ones to females. They're just using the female characters that were part of the X-Men. Mr. Sinister as a top choice for main villain. No Magneto involved. Blah blah blah. This sounds so promising. Yeah, and a bit sarcasm. And is that Mr. Sinister? As I said, I'm not a comic guy, so I don't know. Though the scooper did not provide any details as to which specific heroines were currently being considered to bring the fight to the aforementioned mutant geneticist, it's likely that the Iman Vellani portrayed Kamala, Miss Marvel Khan, will be among them, obviously. As she's both the MCU's first official mutant and one of its currently favoured female characters. What is she? So she's a mutant, is she now? Oh, right. Oh, did they say in the Marvels that she's a mutant? I thought it was just because she got the rings off her grandmother or whatever that she had powers. No, she's actually a mutant, is she now? Where are we? Windgrave says, to be fair, the X-Men is probably the one team in Marvel that has A-list heroes that are female. Okie dokie. Only no Storm, and that's because of the films. Oh, and Jean Grey. That's because of the Fox films. Sounds like another message representation. More than well, yeah, exactly. They never learn, do they? They never learn. She got the rings, but they activated her latent mutant gene or some such. So she's an ancient. Could she work the Antarctic chair? I bet she could. Yes, Storm, Rogue, Jean Grey. Yes, they were all in the Fox films, weren't they? Right. And there's Miss Marvel. Right. Notably, though, Richmond's scoop has yet to receive any official confirmation. Its information is lent credence by the fact that Marvel Studios has an established habit of subverting audience expectations in order to artificially bolster the franchise's female representation. Such subversions come from the studio in one of 2 forms, the primary one being the act of gender swapping. I don't think that's going on here, is it? Thanks to Marvel's adoption of this practice, a variety of established male Marvel Comics characters like Ghost, Captain Marvel, and Taskmaster make their cinematic debuts as the opposite gender with a CG on head, thus defying fans the chance to see the characters they've known for years accurately brought to life in favour of low-effort pandering. By the way, it's like Olga I can't say her name. Olga Kurilenko. Like I said, astonishingly beautiful woman, Bond girl, and they just decided to put all scars on her face and stick a head on the man's body in Black Widow. Baffling. Anyway, and while not as common, the second comes in the form of ham-fisted, virtue signal-heavy storytelling, wherein one of the franchise's male characters has his character completely shredded and disrespected in favour of boosting the profile of their female successor, which is basically every Marvel film since Endgame, pretty much. From Flag Smasher being heralded as morally superior to the Falcon in The Falcon and the Winter Soldier. I can't even remember. To Jane Foster proving herself more easy. Flag Smash. Well, Flag Smasher ginger-haired lass. I can't bloody remember. To Jane Foster proving herself more easily able to wield Mjolnir than Thor himself in Thor Love and Thunder. To the entirety of She-Hulk Attorney at Law, pretty much. Ever since Marvel went full identity politics with Avengers Endgame's forced girl power moment. Nobody liked that, did they? This subversive writing technique has become one of the studio's main tools in attempting, or more accurately failing, to endear their new characters to long-time audiences. It's because they've no idea what they want, because they live in this bubble. They live in this Hollywood bubble where, you know, they think that this is what the public wants because their bubble wants it. But it's not true. It's not true. Anyway, where were we? Further, such a subversive treatment of arguably the company's second most profitable franchise, the top spot unsurprisingly belonging to Spider-Man, should come as no surprise in light of its constant thrashing of the team's male-centric name at the hand of Marvel themselves. For example, June 2019 saw the release of the final film in Fox's second X-film series, X-Men series, whatever. Dark Phoenix, which features the infamous scene wherein, after bringing up her issues with his willingness to throw mutant life after mutant life into the fray in service of his dream, Jennifer Lawrence's Mystique tells off Professor Xavier, quote, "By the way, the women are always saving the men around here. You might want to think about changing the name to X-Women." You can't have women without men, can you? Just thought I'd say that. Can't have human without man. Just saying. Just saying. Bounding into comics job ad. Must have bad punctuation to get the position. Not as bad as The Guardian, though. Got to admit. The bad punctuation is probably down to me. Oh, that's pronunciation, isn't it? Anyway. By the way, I didn't mind Dark Phoenix. I know everybody hated it, but I watched. I thought, it wasn't too bad. I didn't mind it. Anyway. Further. Hang on. Wingrace says, I always thought men was a shortening of human, not referring to only males. Well, it's the race of men, isn't it? You know, mankind and all that. You know, it's just, it's not a sex thing, is it, so to speak, or a gender thing. It's just a name, after all. Further, speaking to entertainment news outlet Nuke the Fridge that same month, then Marvel president of physical post-production, VFX, and animation. What the hell was that? Victoria Alonso likewise opined of the team's possible arrival in the MCU. I don't know where the future is going. It's funny that people call it the X-Men. There's a lot of female superheroes in that X-Men group, so I think it's outdated. She's just an idiot. So she's gone now anyway. So it's not an idiot, but you know what I mean. She's smarter than I'll ever be. You know, probably got degrees and stuff coming out of her ears. But she's still an idiot. Because they don't get it, do they? They just have this little narrow view. Men bad, women good. I like women, etc. As of writing, Richmond Scoop has yet to receive. I know we've said that already. Right, so that's the end. That's the end. Ingress says, guess we better change the title to Children of Men. That's the name of the film. Anyway. I won't be surprised if they do that, but it'll be a mistake and they'll lose money again. You think they'd learn, wouldn't you? Disney, as a an overarching company, has made this year has made one film that made a profit, didn't it? All the films that made it that were over $200 million or something in budget, one made a profit, which was Guardians 3, wasn't it? Which was Guardians 3. Sci-Fi Quest says Apple should be cancelled because For All Mankind title, but saved it because they have powerful women represented. Yes, they do. Sometimes it does get a bit woke, it is For All Mankind, but I still like it. I still like it. But anyway. So there we go. But as I said, I wouldn't be surprised if they do it, but you'd think they'd learn the lesson, wouldn't you? You would think they would learn the lesson and just make an X-Men film with the main X-Men characters who everybody knows. But Professor Xavier and all them. What's his face? Cyclops, Storm. Get all them in Rogue, blah blah blah. But they won't. Well, they might have Rogue because he's a woman, Jean Grey, obviously. But anyway, right, next. So what they call it, the Mutants. So that's what they tried to do, didn't they? Because they brought that film out, didn't they? New Mutants, didn't they? With what's the face? I forgot a bloody name now. With the eyes. You know what I mean? It's with the Vivitch. Oh God, me and names. But they brought that out, didn't they? And which, wasn't a terrible film, but it was delayed 80 billion years, wasn't it? And that was supposed to be the time that they were changing from the X-Men to the Mutants, wasn't it? That's what they said at the time. Yes, Anya Taylor-Joy, that's what they won. The one with the eyes. And it wasn't a terrible film. It wasn't a brilliant film, but I didn't hate it. My son liked it because he likes Anya Taylor-Joy. But that was, part of the changing over from X-Men to Mutants. And there were another as well, weren't there, with that show that flopped badly with Captain Pike in it. The Inhumans, that were another one that that was supposed to pull us away from, the X-Men sort of thing, wasn't it? Because they started using it in the TV shows as well, didn't they? Marvel's Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. They start calling them Inhumans in that, didn't they? Anyway, I don't know. Sci-Fi Quest says, I think I'd rather go back and watch Mutant X than this new X-Men. Yes, I think it'll be rubbish. It'll be rubbish. If they do this, you'd think they'd listen to the public, but I bet they don't. Who are these on here anyway? Who have we got? M, Marvel Girl, Storm, Psylocke, and Jubilee. Okay, guessing that's Jubilee. I don't know. I've heard of Jubilee. I don't know who they are. Anyway, as I said, I'm not into comics. Hang on, where are we? Windgress says, if they really wanted to do this multiverse stuff, they should have made an Exile show that stars a female mutant. It's basically like Sliders of Marvel Comics. And, well, Inhumans, actually, really old comic characters, just nobody really liked them. Because they lived on the moon, didn't they, or something? I don't know. I saw the first episode and I didn't watch any after that. But, yeah, just Disney, hire Windgrace to write the stories or be a consultant on it. That's my suggestion for you. And you get a good film out of it. Yes, so that was from Bounding Into Comics, Spencer Bakula, if I'm pronouncing that right. Probably not. Right, let's move on. Some Star Trek news now. Oh, pardon me, I'm burping. I've had a KFC little mini fillet sandwich and it was bloody horrible. Oh, dear. Right, what's next? Here we go. So from Deadline, Amando Tinoco. I'll not say anything else because when I said that in my head, I was also saying Toto Coelho. That's going back a bit. I'm not going to go any further in that. You'll have to look it up. Right, Quentin Tarantino passed on directing Star Trek film, because he didn't want that movie to be his last. As in, he probably didn't want to be is the film he was, his last film being a Star Trek film, the film, whatever. Don't know why. Quentin Tarantino was close to directing a bloodier Star Trek movie, but opted out of making it because he didn't want that to be his last film. I don't know why he decided. I know he said it's like 10 films he's going to make and then retire. Why is he holding himself to that? Don't know. Did he have to sign it in blood or something? Is it a deal with the devil? Could be, for all I know. Writer Mark L. Smith is now opening up about the hesitation Tarantino had about directing the fourth installment of the film franchise that started with J.J. Abrams' 2009 reboot. Quentin and I went back and forth, says Mr. Smith. Quentin and I went back and forth. He was going to do some stuff on it, and then he started worrying about the number, his kind of unofficial number of films, Smith told Collider in an interview. I remember we were talking, and he goes, if I could just wrap my head around the idea that Star Trek could be my last movie, the last thing I ever do, is this how I want to end it? But he loves Star Trek, even has Star Trek quotes and stuff in his films. So why wouldn't he want that? I thought his film was supposed to be entirely disconnected from the JJ verse. Well, yeah, apparently it was, wasn't it? It's supposed to be to do with the gangsters, wasn't it, on that planet from A Piece of the Action. It was supposed to do with that, wasn't it, apparently? Or maybe it was that planet in the JJ verse. I don't know. Because they might have forced it on, Paramount might force it onto him or something. It's got to be part of the JJ verse. But you can do your own story, but it's in that universe because we've got all these assets that you have to use. Maybe that's what happened. Anyway, Smith continued, and I think that was the bump he could never get across. So the script is still sitting there on his desk. I know he said a lot of nice things about it. I would love for it to happen. It's just one of those that I can't ever see happening. Or can never, whatever. It will be the greatest Star Trek film, not for my writing, but just for what Tarantino was going to do with it. It was just a balls out kind of thing. I think it'd be bloody awful. I know he loves Star Trek, but I don't think Quentin Tarantino could make a Star Trek film. Anyway, Sci-Fi Quest says, is it my imagination, or does this read like they had Chat GPT generating this article? I think we get that a lot these days, don't we? Also, it doesn't help my reading skills. I think they do, and then maybe change some words around. Yes. Where were we? But yeah, I think it'd have made I don't think it'd been able to make a good Star Trek film. It wouldn't have felt like Star Trek if they were going to make it, because they said they were going to make it, like an R-rated Star Trek film. And but like I said, season 1 of Star Trek Discovery were pretty R-rated, in my opinion. I don't think it technically was, because it's on TV, you know what I mean? But if it had been at the cinema, it'd probably been R-rated because of all the violence in it, wasn't there? And a couple of bits of bad language. Maybe they might have got away with the PG-13, I don't know. But it was quite violent, particularly when that Commander What's-Her-Face got by the tardigrade. That were quite gruesome, wasn't it? But anyway, that's by the by. But anyway, I don't think it'd worked. It wouldn't have felt like a Star Trek film, in my opinion. Or it might have been the best Star Trek film ever. I don't know. He could do like a cool Orion Syndicate story or something. I wouldn't want him doing a Starfleet story. It's just a Pulp Fiction, but just make all the characters Star Trek characters. Just watch that and imagine them as Star Trek characters. When John Travolta went to Vulcan, says what do they call her? What's it? A quarter pounder with cheese on Vulcan, because they've got the metric system on Vulcan, haven't they? Anyway, Tarantino's been open to about wanting to retire from directing after completing 10 films, with the movie critics set to potentially be his last. Smith noted that Tarantino's take on Star Trek would have been rated with a hard R. Yes, I think his vision was just so hard. It was a hard R. or 18 as we call it here. Oh no, it's 50. I think an R-rated film in the UK is a 15 certificate, and then we have 18 certificates as well, which I think is equivalent to, is it NC 17 or something in America? I have no idea. It was going to be some Pulp Fiction violence. See? Smith added, not a lot of the language. We saved a couple of things for just special characters to kind of drop that into the Star Trek world, but it was just really the edginess and the kind of Tarantino flair, man, that he was bringing to it. It would have been cool. Yeah. I can't see it myself. I can't see it. But it'd be interesting. It would be interesting, wouldn't it? Let him do it. Let him do it. Just throw some money at him. You know, I'm sure they could find some somewhere. Let him do the Section 31 film, which is the next story. News of a fourth Star Trek film date back to 2016 when it was announced that Paramount Pictures, Skydance and Bad Robot were going to continue collaborating on another installment ahead of the release of Star Trek Beyond. I think Skydance, one of the companies, sort of like in the frame to potentially buy Paramount Plus. I'm sure I've read that somewhere. Tarantino's involvement in the franchise would be reported the following year when it was announced the director had an idea for the next installment. Reports also mentioned that Tarantino required the film to be rated R, as Smith confirmed in his recent interview. Oh, hang on. I'm missing bits out here now. Where are we? There we go. Sci-Fi Question would do better with the Star Trek Klingon Herc War movie. I'd actually like to see that. Well, yeah, I don't think Quentin Tarantino could do that, but a good director who's done like good war films, maybe. The creator chap, Rogue One fella, get him in. Gareth Edwards, he could do it. Excuse me. If they want to get more mass appeal on Star Trek, which they've been scrambling for since Disco, why not let him do something? Yeah. And Windgrace agrees that's a good idea from Sci-Fi Quest. It is. But not for Tarantino, I don't think. I can't imagine Tarantino directing a war film, to be honest. I don't think he's got that temperament for a war film. He can do gangster stuff and all that, but a war film's different, isn't it? Anyway, where were we? Also, oh, hang on, we haven't done yet. Yes, Inglorious Klingons. But even though that wasn't a war film either, really, was it? That Inglorious, B words. Not really. Although it was set during the war, it wasn't really a war film, was it? In my opinion. But I did like it. Because it was mental. And they killed Hitler in it. Blew his head off. Although hopes are low that the Tarantino vision for Star Trek would get made, Smith said that it would have been a game changer for the franchise. Quote, I liked it because I think it's different. But the way that Thor Ragnarok changed things, I was like, suddenly it had a different feel for the Marvel stuff, he said. It was like, that's fun, that's different. And I guess Guardians of the Galaxy to some level, but it was just like a different vibe. And that's what I thought that it could bring to Star Trek, was just a different feel. Yeah, I kind of agree with that. Particularly after Thor Ragnarok, they found that, people liked the mix of the mix of comedy and action. And comedy were more to the fore, wasn't it? But that kind of spoiled it, because then there was sort of like diluting dramatic scenes with one-liners and stuff, wasn't there? In every film after that, particularly in the Marvel films. Anyway, if they truly want to make great Trek again, respect and follow canon. Yes, in big capital letters. Yes, respect and follow canon. But they won't. They won't, because they don't know how. Even in Strange New Worlds, they don't know how. And I like Strange New Worlds. I can't help liking it. But I understand and I accept that it's changing canon left, right, and centre. And it is quite annoying, to be honest. But anyway, let's move on. Sticking with Star Trek, Section 31 is from Screen Rant, John Orquiola. Section 31 is very special. Michelle Yeoh is definitely prepping for her Star Trek movie. And there she is. What the hell's this? I have no idea. Well, is this the Section 31 base or something? I don't know. I can't remember. Right, Academy Award winner Michelle Yeoh gives a small but exciting update about Star Trek Section 31, which is definitely prepping in Toronto. Yeoh will return as her anti-heroine Emperor Philippa Giorgio to headline Section 31, the first film made exclusively for streaming on Paramount Plus Star Trek movie event. Whatever. Star Trek executive producer Alex Kurtzman, told New York Comic Con in October that Yeoh used the Hollywood clout she gained from her Best Actress Oscar win for Everything Everywhere All at Once to ensure Section 31 goes forward. Not the series. I mean, if she'd used her clout to get like a theatrical film, get the series turned into a big budget theatrical film, you'd think, fair enough. But no, she's used her clout to get the series demoted to a Paramount Plus film. Anyway, what did they phrase? Why did they phrase it like that? It's definitely prepping. It's a Hollywood thing, isn't it? They are prepping. I don't know. I don't know what it means. They're just milling around in a big room and muttering. That's what they're doing. Even Amazon have got a Stargate Bible for the showrunner to follow, so they stick to Stargate canon as much as possible. Well, I hope so. But there not been any announcements yet, has there? I don't think. Unless I could be wrong. I haven't watched Sci-Trek for a while, so I don't know what Jay has scooped. Anyway, where were we? In an interview with Collider to promote her upcoming Netflix series, The Brother's Son, Michelle Yeoh was asked about Star Trek Section 31. While tight-lipped with details, as a Section 31 agent would be, Yeoh assures fans that the Star Trek movie is going full steam ahead. Check out her quote below. Quote, I just came back from Toronto, and what does that tell you? We are definitely prepping. We are definitely going full steam ahead. And thank you. Section 31 is very special to me, and I'm so happy we're doing it. Very done that. Very done that. Notes, TrekMovie.com reports that Star Trek Section 31 will film in Toronto concurrently with Star Trek Strange New World Season 3 from January 29th to March 13th. That means they're using the same sets to save money. Bet it does. Winggrace says, all this use of definitely makes it sound like they're trying really hard to convince us of something that isn't. True. Yes, probably. More than likely. And Sci-Fi says, nothing yet. No, I didn't think there were anything official. I think we'll hear something soon. Speaking of, not about Stargate on Amazon, I think we'll hear something in the next few months. I think we will. Now that the strike's behind us, I think we'll hear something. Anyway, what Section 31 means for Star Trek on Paramount Plus, and there's the badges. Section 31, this shady organisation that was basically just one man in Deep Space Nine, wasn't it? Sloan. Although he did have a couple of hangers on in one episode, didn't he? Basically just him, wasn't it? And then in Enterprise, it was just that other one fella that kept contacting Malcolm. Now they've got the fleet of ships and their own badges and IDs. It's not Starfleet Intelligence. I think they've got mixed up. I think they've got Section 31 mixed up with Starfleet Intelligence. I honestly think that's what they've done. That's it. They're always mixing up the Federation with Starfleet in modern Star Trek. They're always getting them mixed up. They're two separate things. But anyway, I think that's what's happening. Anyway, Jay does know something, though, and he's not allowed to say anything right now. Well, he would say that, wouldn't he? No, I'm sure he does. He'll let us know when he can tell us. Go beat it out of him. Right, where were we? Star Trek Section 31 was announced in April. It was announced in 2017, wasn't it? But anyway, in April to be the first of a series of made-for-Paramount Plus Star Trek movies made exclusively for the streaming service. The original intention was to release a new Star Trek film on Paramount Plus every 2 years, but this was before the strikes, which could have altered Star Trek on Paramount Plus's future plans. Regardless, thanks to Michelle Yeoh's love of Star Trek and dedication to starring in Section 31, her spy adventure film will go forward. Not mentioning that it was supposed to be a series, are they? And its success will likely determine whether a sequel, a spin-off series, or any more Star Trek movies on Paramount Plus will follow. Well, if they wanted it to be successful, they should have just picked something that they know would be popular, wouldn't they? And not bugger it up. But they won't do that. They won't do that. Section 31's quality and reception will also be an indicator of whether the Star Trek franchise's decision to spin off from the soon-to-be ending Star Trek Discovery is a wise move. You know what I think they should have done? Not do a Section 31 series. Want Michelle Yeoh in it? Do like a prequel of Michelle Yeoh on the Shenzhou, whatever, the ship that were in at the beginning of Star Trek Discovery, and her adventures on that before Sonequa Martin Green arrived. Do like a prequel. And because she still looks young, and I bet she didn't look much younger 20 years earlier. I don't know how long she'd been captain of the Shenzhou for, but do that instead. Do that instead. Don't have Section 31. Because I don't like the Empress Giorgio character. I know actors like and actresses like playing, the baddies. But I liked the goodie Philippa Giorgio. She was good. She was nice. Anyway. Next time Star Trek has me on, I'll ask if there's any news. Just grab him by shirt collar. Grab Jay and say, tell us what we need to know. Hey. I was just thinking that, except I didn't care for the look of her ship. I didn't mind it. I quite liked the design of the Shenzhou, except for the bridge being on the underside of the saucer section. I didn't like that. But the rest of it was fine. It was a bit like, kind of reminiscent of a Miranda class, wasn't it? Sort of. But all the other ships in Star Trek Discovery were bloody awful. They're terrible, especially the Klingon ones. Yeah, that was episode, didn't they? The computer said it's a D7 Klingon battle cruiser. Then the ship appeared. It looked nothing like one. And then in season 2, they had actual D7s, didn't they? Anyway, where were we? Section 31's quality. Have I read this bit? Oh, yeah, carry on. Section 31's quality and reception will also be an indicator of whether the Star Trek franchise's decision to spin off from the soon-to-be ending Star Trek Discovery, although I did like season 1, although I'm aware of its shortcomings, is a wise move, as opposed to heeding the daily fan demand online for Star Trek Picard Season 3 to get a spin-off about the USS Enterprise G, Titan A, in the 25th century. Biddy. The upcoming Star Trek Starfleet Academy, that nobody wants to watch, series is also believed to spin off from Discovery. It's going to be awful, is that? It just makes me depressed reading that. However, in Michelle Yeoh, Star Trek Section 31 has a bankable global star who adores the franchise and will play Empress Giorgio for the first time since she left Star Trek Discovery Season 3 in December 2020. Went through the bloody Guardian of Forever, didn't she? Oh, God. Another thing that buggered up. Betting against Empress Giorgio has never paid off for anyone. Blah, blah, blah. Right, so there we go. So apparently it's on the way, according to Michelle Yeoh. The full steam ahead prepping and all that. Anyway, sci-fi question. You mean the ones like in Strange New World Season 2 that have transforming nacelles? I don't know. Season 2? I don't remember that bit. I know in... when they went into the 31st century in Discovery, they had detached nacelles, didn't they? And then forgot. They redid the Discovery, didn't they? And it had detached nacelles that were connected to the pylons, be like force fields or whatever. Then they forgot, and they had to go and I think something had happened with the Discovery. The computer had taken over or something like that. And they had to disable it so that to climb up the pylons to get into the warp nacelle and plant a bomb in it. But they forgot it was detached. But it didn't show that. It just showed them climbing up the nacelles and getting into the warp nacelle. Stupid bloody thing. You mean Carl? Who the hell's Carl? Don't know, because I forgot what I was talking about now. Yeah, they reconnect for warp as well. Not that I saw. Bloody stupid. It was stupid, and even Doug Drexler didn't like him. Didn't like the detached nacelles. Because it's stupid. Oh, aye, Carl, the guy. Oh, aye, yes. Yes, he appeared as a man, didn't he? Because apparently that were in City on the Edge of Forever's author, Helen Ellison's original script, wasn't it? That the Guardian of Forever manifested as a person. So they decided to use that instead of the actual episode, which this is supposed to be, you know, following on from, not the original script. They're just trying to be clever. That's all. They're just trying to be clever and failing, getting cross. Anyway, so we'll see what happens. If it happens, it happens. If it doesn't, it doesn't. It just seemed like Anubis from Stargate when he met Daniel in the diner. A bit, yeah, to be honest, yes. Very like that. Except that were good. With, I forgot the name of the actor. George Dzunza. Is that how you pronounce it? I have no idea. DZUNDZA. George Dzunza. With him. Who were good as Chubby Anubis. We may also know him from Salem's Lot. He played the truck driver who got the shotgun on his wife's lover. I forgot his name. Never mind. Anyway, right, whatever. Right, so there you go. So, will Section 31 happen? She says it will. Does anybody else say it will? If Michelle Yeoh says it's happening, it must be happening. We will see. Right, let's move on. I'll give me a gap and I'll just talk for a bit. Doctor Who next. Doctor Who. Right. This is from Deadline. Who's saying this? Who's right this one? Jake Cantor. Right. Doctor Who producer Bad Wolf gets $54 million boost from unusual deal to make BBC Sci-Fi series. Unless Paramount gets sold or goes under, it will happen. They won't let their chance to use Michelle fade. Yeah, probably. But I bet the budget goes down, and I bet it's not like if super effects heavy. It'll have some cool effects in it, obviously, but I bet it hasn't got a massive budget. I bet it hasn't. Right, where were we? Exclusive, they say. Bad Wolf's unusual deal to make BBC Studios show Doctor Who helped boost the Sony-owned production outfit's revenues. Sci-Fi Quest says, wasn't Section 31 confirmed at the same time as Starfleet Academy, or as Jay calls it, Star Trek 90210? And I say Star Trek Grange Hill. Well, I don't know. They've been on about a Section 31 series since that's a season 1 or... Yeah, I think season 1 or early season 2 of Star Trek Discovery, haven't they? So like 2017, 2018, they've been on about it, haven't they? Well, Alex Kurtzman has. Because they went to all that trouble, didn't they, in season 2 of Star Trek Discovery to do they built a huge set, didn't they? I think that's the reason, isn't it, why 2 of the producers, and I forgot the names of them, but 2 of the producers got fired, didn't they? Because they blew all the budget in season 2 of Star Trek Discovery on these massive Section 31 sets that they built. And people said they're going to reuse them in a Section 31 series that were coming. But they never did. But anyway, Josh Temple's arrived. Sorry, been super busy. He arrived earlier on with Harpoon, not me on about. Super busy. Can we start from the beginning so I don't miss anything? No. Not going through all that again. Hey. We did a bit of Marvel, obviously. What's his face? Jonathan Majors, John Boyega, who else? Go see Star Wars in IMAX in London. X-Men are going to be all women. Quentin Tarantino's not doing a Star Trek film because he didn't want it to be his last one. And Section 31 is what's the prepping? It's the ball is rolling, it's prepping. So there we go. Right. Next, Doctor Who. Bad Wolf's unusual deal to make BBC Studios show Doctor Who helped boost the Sony-owned production outfit's revenues. Bad Wolf was handed the production contract to Doctor Who in September 2021 as part of an agreement to restore Russell T Davies to the role of showrunner. Bad Wolf's subsidiary, Whoniverse One, the special purpose vehicle through which Doctor Who is made, posted sales of £43 million, $54 million in the 17 months to March 2023. Separately, Bad Wolf recorded revenues of £117 million, $148 million in the 12 months to the end of March, a 192% increase on the £40.2 million in 2022. Based in Wales, the production outfit's pre-tax profit of £7 million in 2023 was up 366% on 1.5 million in the previous year, according to earnings published on Companies House. Doctor Who has always been made by the BBC or BBC Studios, and there is no precedent for the corporation handing over keys to such an iconic brand to an external producer, because they were going to cancel it, weren't they? They were going to cancel it after Jodie Whittaker said apparently it were going to be no more. They'd buggered it up. Nobody were watching it anymore. Ratings had plummeted. So they thought, and Russell T Davies swung in with his Bad Wolf SWAT team and offered to take it up as long as he had total control. And the BBC said, fine. So that's what happened. And the rest is history, and a lot of people don't like it. And it still didn't get good ratings, did it? The 60th anniversary episodes, which I quite liked for the most part, but it didn't get great ratings. Anyway, right. BBC Studios continues to own the Doctor Who brand and oversees international sales and merchandise. The company brokered the deal with Disney Plus for streaming rights outside of the UK. Gardner and Tranter, both former BBC producers, worked with Davies on the 2005 Doctor Who relaunch. Their first episode back, a special starring David Tennant, was watched by 7.6 million people on the BBC last month. That wasn't the overnight, so that'll be the, I don't know how they do it for a week or something like that, or several days in it after the initial airing, and then the count viewers and iPlayer and stuff like that, though. I think it was from that 4 million, wasn't it, overnight? Anyway, Shooting Out will take control of the TARDIS for his first full episode on Christmas Day. The sex education star is the 15th Doctor. Yes, he is. Yeah. Sort of. Well, yeah, something like 4 point something million. Was the overnights, which were a bit higher than Jodie Whittaker's. Hers were like hers had dropped down to like 3 point something millions, aren't they, by the end of her run? So a slight improvement, but I think from the first to the third of the anniversary specials, they lost over 1 million viewers. Anyway, Whitgress says, did you cover the Eccleston comments, by the way? No, I didn't cover them. I've seen them, where they said he'd come back. Somebody asked him, didn't they, at the For the Love of Sci-Fi convention in Manchester a few months ago. Somebody asked him what would it take for him to come back to Doctor Who, and he said, sack Russell T Davies, sack I forgot the call them, the others, Gardner and Tranter, I suppose, and all that, and that's because so he obviously departed on bad terms, didn't he, with them? But yeah. So I don't think he'll be coming back. It is a shame. Be nice to have him back in one of the anniversary specials, or whatever, or a Christmas special. But it looks like it's not going to happen. Yeah, basically sack everyone, he said, didn't he? He obviously didn't get on with them. But Sci-Fi Quest says the 60th had too much message representation, particularly the first episode. I believe that's why the ratings are so bad. Wolf. Yep, it did. It had too much. The second had the least. The second episode had the least, but there was too much of it. And there's going to be even more in the series. The Christmas specials coming, and in the series, it's going to be all. They're just going for it, aren't they? They don't learn. There's a comment. Oh. Anonymous said, so far, money well earned. These 3 specials were amazing. It's probably Russell T. Davies that wrote that. These 3 specials. Anyway, so there we go. So Bad Wolf's doing well now, and obviously you'd think fair enough. They've got Who now, haven't they? They've got full control of it. They can do what they want, and they're going to make a mess of it, in my opinion. Sci-Fi Quest says second was bad for other reasons. Wait, my arms are too long. I didn't mind that. As I said, kind of reminded me of Mr. Hyde in League of Extraordinary Gentlemen. His second was my favourite by a lot. I thought second was the best, but my favourite was still the first one, despite all the messaging, because of emotions and stuff at Tennant coming back and all that. But anyway. Anyway, what's the next one? Oh, another Doctor Who story. Doctor Who saves lives. University of Birmingham doesn't have a byline. Doctor Who festive specials linked to lower death rates. Is this a link, or is this just the coincide with it? It's like saying something like, there's lower death rates at Christmas when what's the face? Carol Kirkwood does the BBC weather, something like that. Is it that? Anyway, study highlights the positive impact of doctors working over the festive period. May prompt broadcasters to air new Doctor Who episodes each year at Christmas. I'm going to have to read this now. And there's Matt Smith, and the lovely what's her face. As Clara, with the Cyberman head in his hand. That's the episode, isn't it? Is that where he lived for like 900 years or whatever it was in this place? I can't remember. I've been fooled by that headline before. Doctor Who saved 3 children from... Yes, I've seen a lot of those. There's been another one as well. There's been one recently, actually. It did have a kind of a sci-fi twist. It was like Doctor Who sold drugs... used Star Wars name. He called himself like Imperial Stormtrooper or something. This doctor in this country, in the UK, who's I think he's gone to prison or whatever. Sold drugs under the pseudonym Imperial Stormtrooper. But yes, a lot of that. But no, this is about Doctor Who. A new Doctor Who episode shown during the festive period, especially on Christmas Day, is associated with lower death rates in the subsequent year across the UK, finds a new study. Jenna Coleman. That's what I'm thinking of. The new paper, published in the Christmas edition of the BMJ, British Medical Journal, highlights the positive effect doctors can have when working during the festive period and may prompt the BBC and Disney Plus to broadcast new episodes of Doctor Who every festive period, ideally on Christmas Day. What, just to save lives? A bit crackers, isn't it? So basically, bring back the Christmas specials, which, to be fair, they should never have stopped. Well, yeah. You're going to save lives if you do it. Should have done it during COVID, shouldn't they? Should have Doctor on every day during COVID. Maybe they'd have saved all those lives. But don't get me started. I think they stopped because the ratings dropped and they didn't want to waste space on it anymore. More than likely. But I think Chibnall was an idiot as well. I didn't think they were important enough. Anyway, where were we? 60 years ago, the BBC televised the first episode of Doctor Who following a character called the Doctor, who travels through space and time in the TARDIS, fighting villains and intervening to save lives. So you can just say that, TARDIS. They explain who the Doctor is and all that. They don't have to explain what the TARDIS is. Everybody knows, probably even Somebody that's never watched Doctor Who, they'd know what the TARDIS was. Anyway, fighting villains and intervening to save lives. The show became a cultural phenomenon, and today millions of viewers still follow it worldwide. In the UK, many doctors work over the festive period, but the impact of this on population health is unclear. Because Doctor Who has been broadcast for 60 years, it provides a natural experiment to investigate the impact that one doctor could have when working over the festive period. Is this a slight on actual doctors in the health service? I don't know. Richard Riley, professor of biostatistics at the University of Birmingham, examined the examined the association between new Doctor Who episodes aired from 24th of December to 1st of January, a potential proxy for a single doctor working during that period, and the subsequent year's age standardised death rates from the UK's Office of National Statistics. What a slow... Where'd they get the funds for this? Only new televised episodes from 1963 were considered. Televised spin-off series, books, comics, and audio stories were not included. Well, they don't, Between 1963 and 2022, a new Doctor Who episode was broadcast during 31 festive periods, including 14 episodes shown on Christmas Day. 13 of the 14 Christmas Day episodes were consecutive from 2005 to 2017. In-time series analyses and association was found between broadcasts during the festive period and subsequent lower annual death rates. Episodes shown on Christmas Day were associated with about 6 fewer deaths per 10,000 person years in England. 10,000 person years in England and Wales, and 4 fewer deaths per 10,000 person years in the UK. Statistics. The reduction was even higher when Doctor Who was consistently shown over the festive periods from 2005 to 2019, mainly on Christmas Day, with an average seven fewer deaths per 10,000 person years. What the hell's a person year? In England and Wales, and 6 fewer deaths per 10,000 person years. I don't know what it means in the UK. Professor Richard Riley said, all right, so I was gonna say, do I have to read that? Or is it in here? It's in here. This paper has 2 hearts. There's obviously a fan in it. The first is about medical doctors who work tirelessly to save lives and make others better, including over Christmas. The second is about the BBC TV series Doctor Who, which millions enjoy worldwide. Given the study findings, we should be even more grateful to health professionals working this festive period and to the BBC and Disney Plus for broadcasting Doctor Who on Christmas Day. Riley points out that these findings do not show causality and relate to one unique doctor. Behave! Princess being naughty. Relate to one unique doctor, so may not apply to all medical doctors in the human race. However, the analysis is not even human, he's a Gallifreyan. But he's not. But you know what I mean. However, the analysis took account of population differences over time, and he suggests that watching a Doctor Who is caring for people could encourage health-seeking behaviour. These findings reinforce why healthcare provision should not be taken for granted, writes Riley. He believes that decision makers at the BBC and Disney Plus, the international broadcaster of new episodes, should reach enlightenment from the study's findings owing to That's who does he think he is? The Lama, the Dalai Lama. Should reach enlightenment following the study's findings owing to a possible health benefit of watching Doctor Who. In particular, BBC and Disney Plus have the opportunity to potentially reduce mortality rates worldwide if they show new Doctor Who episodes during the festive period, he concludes. So if you're poorly now, you go to your doctors, you say, Doctor, I'm not feeling so very well. And they'll just write a prescription and you'll take it down to the supermarket. They'll give you a Doctor Who DVD rather than some tablets. So it's just that 1 hour, not the entire holiday. I've no idea, and I don't even know what 10,000 person years means. I don't know. Does it have the? Does it have a link to the what do they call it? The abstract or whatever they call it? I can't see. I can't see any links. What the hell's what does 10,000 person years mean? I don't know. 6 fewer deaths. 4 fewer deaths in the whole of the UK per 10,000 person years. Whatever that means. I don't know. Yes, Doctor Who box set on prescription. Yes, exactly. Exactly. It'd be cheaper, even if you're working, it'd be cheaper just to buy it, wouldn't it? The price of prescriptions these days. Anyway, he wrote it himself, did Professor Richard Riley. He wrote that, so that's why he's saying they should reach enlightenment from the study's findings. Tooting his own horn somewhat. So there you go. Doctor Who saves lives. There we go. Right. Let's move on. What's next? Oh, aye. Bit of Henry Cavill next. It's from T3, written by somebody. Rick Henderson. Amazon Prime Video is the new home to the most exciting sci-fi TV and movie franchise out there. Henry Cavill will help shape a new era of sci-fi shows and films on Prime Video. Hang on. But before we continue with this, Whedon Grace says, both the number of people in the study and the amount of time each person spends in the study, for example, a study that follows 1,000 people for 1 year would contain 1,000 person year. All right. Right, okay. Still don't get it. That's why I'm not a scientist. Right, here we go. Amazon has confirmed that it will be creating a new TV and movie science fiction universe based on the Warhammer 40,000 tabletop games by Games Workshop. It has signed exclusive rights to the franchise, which will lead to many video projects for its Prime Video streaming service, including some executive produced and even starring Henry Cavill, The Witcher, and Superman. The idea was first revealed last year, with Cavill himself posting on Instagram that a deal with Amazon was in the offing and that he, as a huge Warhammer fan, was in the driving seat. And there's remember that last year or earlier on the year, whenever. Now Games Workshop has confirmed that the contract has been signed and Warhammer 40k movies and TV shows are planned for Amazon Prime Video. Quote, we've now signed the full agreement and the next stage can begin, it said in a community post. Oh, pardon me. Now comes the fun part, working out all the creative details with our partners. Finding a girl boss to lead it. Bet they do. And getting the first script written and into production. What Warhammer 40,000 stories should we tell first? Should we kick off with a movie or a TV show? Both? There's certainly, by the way, I had no sod all about Warhammer. So sort of throw that in there. Like I know sod all about anything, really. Anyway, there's certainly a wealth of stories that can be told within such a massively detailed franchise. Warhammer 40,000 was first created as a tabletop war game offshoot of the fantasy equivalent Warhammer in 1987. Since then, it has been expanded upon greatly with hundreds of novels, video games, and rulebook revisions now available, and figures, apparently. Sci-Fi says, I know there's no hammers in it. Bet there is. I don't know. What made it unique at the time is that it combined the fantasy theme of Warhammer, including orcs, goblins, and necromancy, with the high-tech spacefaring tropes of sci-fi. Oh, and guns, many, many guns. It also has its own style, with the Space Marines wearing thick, chunky armor. Indeed, the Gears of War gaming franchise owes much to Warhammer 40k. I never played... No, I'm lying. I started playing the first Gears of War, and I was rubbish at it. I didn't get very far. That's all I know of Gears of War. Wiggles says, I tried to get into Warhammer, but it's super expensive. Everything is these days. Everything is. There's the video games out for it. I think there is, isn't there? I don't know if they're any good. It will certainly make for a visual feast when it finally does make it onto our screens via Amazon. However, don't expect it anytime soon. Games Workshop warns that it could take years yet. TV and film production is a mammoth undertaking. It is these days. It's not unusual for projects to take 2 to 3 years from this point before something arrives on screen, it said. We still can't wait, though. Just get on with it. It's a TV show, not a movie. Anyway, there's a... Will it look like that? Don't know. It might do, because Henry Cavill famously, fell out kind of, didn't he, with the Witcher people, because they weren't following the law and the canon, were they? So it could be a stickler for it if he's producing it. Yeah, games and video games and some animated movies. Cool. Sci-Fi Quest says, just give us Space Above and Beyond remake. That'll make me happy. Yep, that ended on a cliffhanger, didn't it? After one season. Really like Space Above and Beyond. With the Marine Corps Space Aviators. Cool. So there we go. So it's on its way. So that's another that's prepping, I suppose. And full steam ahead, etc. So, but that's it. It'll be a while before anything, before we get any big announcements. Right, let's move on. 2 stories left. And the next one is that one. Star Trek again. Yay. This is from the Mirror. What the hell was that? Big bang outside. From the Mirror, Alex West. Antiques Roadshow guest stunned by value of Star Trek script gifted to her scientist dad. Hang on. Yes, finish all those sci-fi shows that ended on cliffhangers. Watch your 6. I second that. More Space Above and Beyond, more Firefly. Not the new Firefly, more old Firefly. I don't. Is there a new one? I don't know. You mean the Serenity film? Say bring back Wash. Forget the film, even though I liked it, but bring back Wash and Book. Shepherd Book. But yes, bring back Space Above and Beyond. I want to know what happens. Anyway, Antiques Roadshow guest stunned by value of Star Trek script gifted to her science dad. Breaking news. Exactly when Storm Pier will bring 80 miles per hour winds as schools shut. Oh, that's why it's been windy today, is it? Anyway, Antiques Roadshow took on a special space theme and showed off an ancient Star Trek script. I haven't watched Antiques Roadshow for ages. Hang on. Where are we? There will be a new Firefly, but not set on Serenity. Well, they were fixing it at the end of the film. No, the spin-off they were talking about with Washer's kid. Oh, was she expecting then? Or I forgot her name now. Gina Torres is the actor. I forgot the name of the character. And it's not involving Joss. Well, is he still cancelled? I've no idea. Kind of keeping a low profile, isn't he, for now? Anyway, back to Star Trek. Antiques Roadshow, which I haven't seen for ages, took on a special space theme and showed off an ancient Star Trek script. A woman brought in an original script gifted by Gene Roddenberry, the writer of Star Trek, the original series, well, the creator, not just the writer. He wrote some of them, but anyway, including a letter that was helpful in verifying its authenticity, kept in great condition by a frame. The pages of the script were clearly older and starting to yellow, but the typewriter ink still left the words visible. I should hope so. Ancient Star Trek script. I think that's a joke. She explained that her father was a scientist who offered Jean a little bit of advice while putting Star Trek together. Laura Woolley from Collector's Lab was able to step in and give her an estimate as to its worth. And the cat's opened the door. Yes, she has, because it's just got freezing in here. Unbelievable. The script, by the way, there's... go away. What's that pop down for? Pop back up again. How do I get that to go back up? Unbelievable. Never mind. What's that doing? That's taking up half the bloody page. Can I get rid of that? No, that's not that. Look, going somewhere else now. Oh, I hate bloody adverts and stupid pop-ups there. Oh, I got angry then. Anyway, Nathan and the original cast wants to make more Firefly, but only if Joss is showrunner. Well, it's loyalty, isn't it, you see? Same with the X-Files. I thought a thing today about the X-Files. I thought I was going to do a story on it, actually. Oh, but yes, I was going to do it. I was going to include it, and I forgot. Is it Ryan? Oh, no, that's it. It's popped up in the news again, but it was an old story from March. Ryan Coogler, I think it's Ryan Coogler, of Black Panther fame, is wanting to do an X-Files series, X-Files reboot with a diverse cast. And it popped up in the news streams again, but it was from March this year originally, but for some reason it's popped up again. Yes, Ryan Coogler. And in the article I read, it was saying that I'm talking about loyalty. David Duchovny said he'd only do it if Gillian Anderson and Chris Carter were involved. So there you go. But anyway, Wingers says, I don't know how I would feel about more actual Firefly at this point. I've got to be honest, I do like Firefly, but I didn't think it was the best thing ever. But I did really, really enjoy it. But it wasn't Star Trek or Stargate, but I did enjoy it. Yes, Ryan Coogler. Anyway, there's Spock, there's Kirk, there's Bones in the turbo lift. I used to like watching it's come back down again. Why does that keep popping down? How do I get it back up again? Doing me anything. Look, it's just come down, take us right off the screen. Anyway, I used to like watching the white, the light in that thing going, and then sometimes it'd start going the other way, wouldn't it? Be vertically and it'd be going horizontally. Right, it's gone up again now. Sci-Fi Quest says, as if there was no representation in X-Files, not like they had they had a gender bend. Yes, they had a gender bender episode, didn't they? Actually called that, wasn't it? It was actually called that. And to be honest, I generally skip that episode. I skip quite a lot of episodes, when I'm rewatching, because some of them aren't that good, are they? And that's one of them I usually skip. But anyway. They'd make Scully she'd be black for a start. Mulder, it would be white, but Scully would be in charge. It'd be all meek. He'd be the nerdy, not like David Duchovny, who's handsome and he's a nerd, but he's an athletic nerd with a gun. But in the thing, it'd be a proper meek nerd, and she'd be telling him what to do all the time. That's what would happen. I bet it does. Grace says, I don't think we need a new X-Files. No, we don't. Just make a similar type of show. But I guess they need the name recognition. Well, that's it. That's what they do. They just get the name to bring in the viewers. And it'll be like unrecognizable, apart from FBI. Yeah, apart from the basic premise. But apart from that, it'll be unrecognizable. It'll be rubbish. It'll be rubbish. I wouldn't have said something. I forgot what it was. Never mind. Anyway, right, where were we? The script, which was for the first Star Trek. What do you mean the first Star Trek? You mean the original series, or for the Cage? What was it? Even had notes in the margins. Laura lightheartedly pointed out some pending details near an equation. I love the fact that your father being a scientist, we have notes here. I wonder if it's on, is it a recently aired one? I wonder if it's on the iPlayer. Bear with me. I'm going to check. Hope it is. Now then, Antique Roadshow. Let's have a search. If I could spell, there we go. Antiques Roadshow. Now then. Says that special sci-fi one, but there's none there saying anything about sci-fi. Royal Treasures, Nursing Special, Toys and Childhood Special. Will it be from the latest one, you reckon? Have a look. Let's have a... Shush! Mute it. We're getting copyright struck. Right, I'm going to spin through it. See if we can see a script. The painting of cars. You can't see. So I'll bring it over here. Sod it. Okay, I'm not going to play it. I'll bring it over here. There we go. There you go. You see that? Hey, I'm not gonna play it. We're just gonna go through it. Fella. Table. I bet it's not this one. Somebody with like a model aeroplane or something. Views. A pen set. Various trinkets. Machine gun. Something. Oh, it's a badge or something, isn't it? More knickknacks that probably are worth hundreds of pounds. It's a bit of wood and it's worth sod all. Really? Hang on, where are we? I bet they get rid of the FBI too. There will be a community organisation that doesn't have ties to the evil government. Yeah, probably. More than likely. More than likely. All volunteers. Mulder will be a gay Indian. Scully will be black and a lesbian. All bad guys will be white. Yes, they will. Yes, they will. White and straight. Yes. Yes, I wouldn't be surprised. Wouldn't be surprised. And we'll be saved by the, what is it? The American Society of Magical whatever. You know, the film that's coming out. It's not going to be this episode, is it? The Star Trek one. Oh, hang on, what's this? No, that's something else, isn't it? No, that's something else. We're getting near the end. No. I mean, it could be the American version of Antiques Roadshow for all I know. I don't know. Let's have a look. Does it say? Laura Woolley from Collector's Lab. Oh, that's somebody else, isn't it? Oh, there's a link there. No, that's just about Antiques Roadshow. You don't say what episode it was. Was it the British or American version of Antiques Roadshow? But it was the American version. Anyway, the script had notes in the margin, blah, blah, blah. Laura lightheartedly pointed out some pending details near an equation. I love the fact that your father being a scientist, we have notes here. Laura went on to ask the woman if her father did official consulting on the show or if he just offered some early guidance. She explained that he was never an official consultant, and for good reason. She explained, number one, he was sort of a stickler for science, and he knew he would be too picky, and he wouldn't let things go by. Secondly, he really didn't think it would go anywhere. That sort of mindset was just a testament to Gene's work ethic. Laura added, none of us have ever heard of one coming up for auction. This is hard proof that he wanted the science to be right. Her father was wrong, of course, as Star Trek became a hit show with a string of movies. Eventually, it wasn't a hit show to start with, was it? The value is in US dollars, so probably, is it? Oh, yes, it's down there. Yes, it is. It wasn't initially a hit show, was it? It only ran 3 seasons, didn't it? And it got cancelled. But it became a hit later. Its impact on science fiction and pop culture cannot go without note. Its popularity is exactly what made the documents worth so much. But even expert Laura had a hard time pinpointing an exact valuation. I'm going to see if it's on YouTube then. See if it's on YouTube. Right. So never mind all my stuff. I don't know. I'll do it over here again. We'll move you back over here. I'll type in Antiques Roadshow Star Trek script. See if that finds anything. Hey, Antiques Roadshow. That's from 10 years ago. That's not it, is it? No, I can't see it on there. on Thingamabob YouTube. Oh, hang on, it might be. Oh, it is. It is. This is 10 years. This is a video from 10 years ago. Right. Right, I'll bring this back over here then. It is. It says it's 10 years old, this clip. Look, 10 years ago. I can't see it for me. Never mind. Right, bit further. There you go. 10 years ago. But Sci-Fi fan, what's Laura Woolley's appraisal of a Star Trek script and pitch letter? Right, so I'll not just play because I'll probably get into trouble, but see if we get a close-up. There's a letter. Star Trek. Let's get rid of the subtitles. There we go. Created by Gene Roddenberry. The Cage. Yes, it's for The Cage. Look, The Cage. We see it there. Look. I feel I must clarify, I have no problem with gender, racial, or sexuality. I just want them to stop making crap entertainment and then blaming white straight. Yes, yes. Same here. Same here. I just want them to just make good entertainment and not have to shoehorn messages in and, you know, and pander into minorities and stuff. But I don't know. It just does me head in. It just does me head in. Just write a good story. But anyway, 46,000 views, 19 comments. Suddenly feel better about my engagement in 10 years. But yes, it's the American anti. So there we go. It's The Cage. 10 years. So why is the bloody Daily Mirror just reporting this now? But it's for The Cage. I just wanted to know which one it was for. But yes, it's for The Cage. I thought you might be interested in taking a peek at our final version of the Star Trek pilot script. Would appreciate any critical comments or suggestions you care to give. One small request, which I'm sure you'll understand and anticipate. By this is what Gene Roddenberry actually talks like. Would appreciate your seeing that this is not read by anyone in the entertainment business, since we are trying to keep our direction confidential for the time being. Sincerely yours, Gene Roddenberry. Very good. Enclosure, Star Trek, The Cage script. Cool. I'd like that because The Cage is probably my favourite, maybe of all time, of all Star Trek. The Cage is probably my favourite episode. Personally, I think it's the best Star Trek. Not the best the best science fiction of the 60s. I think it's better than 2001, better than Planet of the Apes. I think it's amazing. So there you go. So actually, I'll put the link for this in the description. But anyway, back to the article. At first, Laura said the script could be worth $46,000. Scripts for movies and shows aren't that uncommon, but an original script, including details before changes were made, gifted by Gene himself, could truly be worth thousands. However, considering this specific script might be one of a kind, Laura was hesitant in her estimate, not having another to compare it to, and not knowing how many are out there. Laura explained the issue she was facing. In the end, she estimated that it could be worth $10,000 to $15,000 due to its unique nature. The woman was surprised, saying, "Oh, my stars." Is that it? Yes, that's it. There we go. That thing's popped up again. So why... It is 19th of December 2023, yesterday. So why has it just popped up now? It's weird, isn't it? It's just probably just one of those things that's just... Is there an... I don't know. Not that I can see. Not that I can see. Scrolling down. Skydiver's final four-word sentence as he realizes he's jumped without a parachute. Oh, it's all right. No, but there's nothing. Nothing I can see. I don't know. Maybe it's just popped up in the the social medias again or something. I don't know. Does it say anything in the comments? There's one from 8 months ago. What great Star Trek history. I don't know. Maybe somebody doing a comment on it 8 months ago made it pop up in recommendeds and stuff. Maybe. I don't know. Did she sell it? Don't know. Or has she still got it? I've got a Star Trek script over there. I hope it's a proper Star Trek script. It looks like one. But it's from Next Generation, the episode Transfigurations, which wasn't my favourite. But I got it at a Star Trek fan club meet. But anyway. There we go. So there we go. Right. One last story. It's another gaming one. By the way, I've got a new game coming. It's not going to be a Christmas present. Somebody suggested that I play a game called The Quarry. You know, I've just done Until Dawn on YouTube. Been playing through Until Dawn and finished that. Somebody, I forgot his name. Apologies, Daniel Stam, something like that. Suggested I play The Quarry from the same developers, and I don't think I've heard of it. I don't know. It kind of rings a bell. I might have seen a trailer at some point, but suggested I played that because it's done that by the same developers. So I went and looked at the PlayStation Store, £64.99 for the standard edition. I thought, I'm not paying that. So I thought, I'll go look on Amazon and see how much it is to buy on Amazon, the disc. £13.95. So I thought, so I ordered that. Well, the PlayStation Store's a right rip-off, innit? So that's on its way, speaking of games. So that might be my next playthrough, maybe. The Quarry. Yes, The Quarry is about Doctor Who shooting locations. I hope so. I don't actually know what it's about. I'm going in blind. My son, I asked my son about it. He says, "Is it? I think it's about werewolves." I've no idea. I didn't even read the description. I just bought it. But anyway. Sci-Fi Quest says, I think Paramount should partner with the Roddenberry Archive. Well, I don't know. I don't know what they're doing, to be honest. Honestly, I don't know what is it. Roddenberry. I don't know what he's doing with Star Trek either, because he's part of the Roddenberry Archive, isn't he? I don't know I don't know what's going on behind the scenes. But his dad would be spinning in his grave if he knew what Roddenberry were up to. Anyway, they're working on a remastered Cage, I believe. Leave it alone. Leave it alone. It's fine. It's fine. Let's have a goodbye. Remaster, you mean adding in Anson Mount? God, I hope not. I hope not. Well, then they'd have to go into Star Trek Discovery season 2, wouldn't they? Because that's they showed a clip. Bizarrely, why did they do this? Was weird. This baffled me. They showed a clip, didn't they, in season 2 of Star Trek Discovery of from the Cage. But as Robert My Burnett would say, the Cage was never part of Star Trek. It was in the Menagerie, the 2-parter, which was slightly altered at the end, wasn't it? Shouldn't use the Cage because that was the rejected pilot. I like Robert My Burnett, but he kind of gets a bit anal at times, doesn't he? But yes, the best scene Disco ever did, showing the clip of something else. But they showed that clip, and obviously it's Jeff Hunter as Captain Pike, isn't it? And then it goes to Discovery, and we see Anson Mount as Captain Pike. So weird. They probably just wanted us to know what happened on Talos 4 or whatever the planet was called, something like that, wasn't it? Before that episode got going. But then they even changed what the Talosians look like. Anyway, I forgot what I was saying now. I think that's it, isn't it? I don't think they are adding Anson. I hope not. It was jarring, but I liked it. I said the first, I don't know, season 2, I liked Anson Mount in it. I just didn't like the stories that they're told in it, and it got on my nerves. But anyway. Right, gaming news. This is from Polygon, Michael McWhirter. Not related, I presume, because it's spelt differently, I think, to Ross and Ross McWhirter. And what was his brother? I can't remember. He used to do Guinness Book of Records. Was it Norris McWhirter? One of them got killed by the IRA. Remember that? Showing my age. Hang on. Wingress says season 2 had that one episode which almost felt like classic episodic Trek. I can't remember. I can't remember. I'll take your word for it. Sci-Fi Quest says one scene in every Disco episode that is the best. The end credits. Hey. Right, games. Suicide Squad game spoilers run wild online as Warner Brothers tries to squash leaks. Unannounced characters and big twists from Rocksteady's next game are leaking. That one. They went down to a planet with a church that had been taken from. Yeah, nobody. I didn't like that episode either because it was stupid. I didn't get how did the bloody Red Angel get the church, the whole church and everybody in it, 50,000 lights. Oh. Ooh. Anyway, if you get that far, that is, as in the credits. Anyway, games. Right. Suicide Squad game. And there's Harley Quinn. Is it King? Is it King Shark? Yeah, it's King Shark, in it. That's him. Deathstroke, Deadshot. I can't bloody remember. I don't even know who that is. Right, Rocksteady Studios and Warner Brothers are trying to contain Suicide Squad Kill the Justice League leaks, including major story spoilers and unannounced playable characters as details on next year's game spread across the internet. The leak, some of which appears to have come from an alpha test of the game, is upsetting not only its developer and publisher, but fans of Rocksteady's Batman games as well. Some story spoilers, while unconfirmed, could have major implications for Rocksteady's Arkhamverse. I think it was the aliens that took the church, but they just had contact with the Red Angel. Maybe my mind wrote. Yes, I'm sure it did. Your mind wrote a better story. I thought it was the Red Angel that did it, but I don't know. Like I say, it was stupid. Anyway, right, where were we? So there might be spoilers here. So if you don't want spoilers for the next Batman Arkham game, Suicide Squad Kill the Justice League, leave the room. Suicide Squad Kill the Justice League details have been leaking for the past few weeks as data miners poured through game files available through a closed alpha tech test that ran from November 30th through December 3rd. That technical test consisted of a smaller specific section of the game's campaign, and its players were bound by a restrictive non-disclosure agreement, NDA. Regardless, unannounced details from Suicide Squad Kill the Justice League have gone public, much to the displeasure of its developer. This is set in the Arkham universe? I didn't know that. That's what they're saying. That's what they're saying. It's following on from Arkham Asylum, Arkham City, and Arkham Knight, is it? Which I've got, but I haven't got around to playing it yet. I never finished Arkham City either. I could never beat Mr. Freeze. I could never get past that bit, that Mr. Freeze bit. He kept getting me. I couldn't get past it. So I never finished it. But I finished Arkham Asylum. Anyway, I forgot what I want now. On Monday, Rocksteady called the leaks very disappointing and warned players that potential spoilers were in the wild. We're looking forward to players experiencing the story we've crafted in Suicide Squad Kill the Justice League once the game launches in the new year, Rocksteady said in a statement posted to its official X account. They didn't say formerly known as Twitter, did they? We hope everyone can play the game and feel each moment of the narrative for themselves. It is very disappointing to see details being shared ahead of the game's release. So we can only urge you to try to avoid spoilers where you can. And please try not to impact the enjoyment of other players by posting spoilers. We look forward to seeing you all in Metropolis on the 2nd of February 2024. Thank goodness they're the same, because if the other, if being Americans, you get your months and your days wrong way around, don't you? It could have been confusing. Warning, the rest of this article contains spoilers for Suicide Squad Kill the Justice League. Right, you ready? Are you ready? Here we go. Spoiler warning. You've had it. Plot details including certain DC Universe characters making surprise appearances and certain characters dying have been leaked through audio and game clips, which Warner Brothers has done its best to scrub from the internet using copyright claims. That includes the possible return of Batman villain Poison Ivy, who died in Batman Arkham Knight. Oh, well, that's that game spoiled for me now. No point me playing it. but returns in Kill the Justice League in a very different form. It must have a seed. Be like Baby Groot, probably. Other leaked and unconfirmed story details include revealing the Suicide Squad's methods for killing certain members of the Brainiac-controlled Justice League using the DC multiverse as a plot device. Right. One leaked aspect of the game story involves the killing of Batman, which shouldn't be much of a surprise in a game titled Kill the Justice League, which features a menacing version of the Cape Crusader as shown in previous game trailers. Some Batman fans are expressing shock and disappointment at how Rocksteady is handling the character, however, particularly with it being the final turn for the late Kevin Conroy. But if it's like multiverse and stuff, it might not be the actual Batman that's going to die. It could be like a baddie version of Batman. That's what I'm guessing. Anyway, maybe I'll say that here. But as fans of the Batman Arkham series should know by now, shocking plot twists in Rocksteady's games aren't always what they seem. This is it. I mean, all that thing they're in the first one with Scarecrow and all that, making you see things that weren't real. Wingo says, I never finished Knight either. Great article. I never even started Arkham Knight. It's down there somewhere. Never got round to it. I've a few games I've not got round to playing. I think I've got the is it Uncharted 4? I've not even started that. And some others. Where were we? Beyond story spoilers, a data miner on X says he's uncovered additional game modes for Kill the Justice League, including a Horde mode called Raising Hell and a 4v4v4v4 PvPvE mode described as a distant cousin of Destiny 2's Gambit. Is that just lots of people fighting each other? I've no idea. Like a squad thing. I don't know. Suicide Squad Kill the Justice League will also get playable characters. By the way, I've never played Destiny either, or Destiny 2. We'll also get playable characters beyond the core roster of Captain Boomerang, Deadshot, Harley Quinn, and King Shark. Is that all that's supposed to be then? It's all right. I said Deadshot, didn't I? I'm sure I did. So is that Captain Boomerang? Doesn't look much like Jai Courtney, does it? What did Jai Courtney that played Captain Boomerang in the films? I don't know. According to leaked details, players will allegedly be able to play as the Joker. I thought he died didn't he die? Spoilers at the end of Arkham City, but then if Poison Ivy did as well. I don't know. Deathstroke and other unannounced DC characters. Warner Brothers and Rocksteady plan to release Suicide Squad Kill the Justice League on February 2nd, 2024, after a series of delays. The game is bound for PlayStation 5, Windows PC, and Xbox Series X. So there we go. There we go. So, yes, fans are angry. I only picked this because I think they covered it on Geeks and Gamers Daily. And I thought, oh, right, so I'll look for that. But I reckon they're getting the knickers in a twist over something that's not going to be what they think it's not going to be. I don't think they're going to kill Batman, or they might think. You might think that Batman get killed, but he's not going to really get killed. I think that's what's going to happen because they've not seen the whole game, have they? So there we go. Yes, he died in City at Jai Courtney to play Boomerang. God, did I get two things right in quick succession? Bloody hell. Where are we? Sci-Fi Quest says, I can't decide what to watch again. Netflix Lost in Space or The Expanse. Choice for me. I still haven't got round to watching Lost in Space Season 2, and I think there might be 3 seasons now, might there? I don't know. But I enjoyed Season 1, and I keep forgetting about it. But I've watched The Expanse. There's rumours, isn't there, that they're doing more of The Expanse, is Amazon. I don't know if it's true or not, but I've seen something about it. They also announced a new Batman Arkham show, not set in Pattinson. A show, as in, a series on like Max or whatever. Would it be like Titans, gritty with F-bombs and stuff? I bet it would. But I quite like Titans, to be honest. But understand why people got cross when, were in Nightwing? I forgot the name of the actor. He was in Pirates of the Caribbean, one of them, and Gods of Egypt. I've forgotten his name. He's actually Australian, but he said F Batman, didn't he? Because he was cross with Batman. But yes, I quite like Titans, but that's by the by. But I bet it'd have a similar feel, and it'd probably be woke. But anyway. So yes, back to this article. I suspect it's. I can understand why people are cross, killing Batman, especially if it's Kevin Conroy's last, his swan song before he passed away. Obviously, they didn't know that at the time when they were making the game, but I bet they don't actually kill him. I bet they think they kill him, or they kill a version of Batman that deserves to die. But we will see. We will see when it comes out in February 2024. Not that I'll play it. You never know. I might even play. I might even have another go at Arkham City if I get past bloody Mr. Freeze. I couldn't get past it. He just kept getting me. I didn't know what to do. I didn't know what to do. But anyway, right. That's it. That's the last story. We're done. Press the wrong button again, didn't I? There we go. Winger says they killed Conroy as live action Batman already. Why not keep going? Did they? Oh, I don't know. I didn't see that. Was that in the Arrow Flash thing? What is it? Crisis thing? Did they do it? Did they do it in that? Because I didn't see that. Anyway, we'll leave it there. We're done and dusted for another day. Right, what's coming next? We're on Wednesday. So Friday, the Appointment with Fear. We're doing Krampus. Hang on. What do you think of Howard the Duck 86? I think it's underrated. I haven't seen it for years. I saw it on probably I think I rented it when it first came out, on VHS, and I haven't watched it since. So I honestly couldn't say. I couldn't say if I enjoyed. I can't even remember if I enjoyed it or not. I haven't watched it since, so I don't know. I couldn't tell you. It's got Warwick Davis in as Howard the Duck. Does he do the voice as well, or does somebody else do the voice? But anyway. Crisis on Infinite Earths. Batwoman electrocuted him to death. Oh, crikey. Crikey Moses. Were the complaints at the time of that as well? Probably. Right, anyway, we're going now. So, as I said, Friday, Appointment with Fear. It's Krampus this week, which is fun, so we're going to watch that. What else? Can you see? Oh, yes, you can. Sorry, can you see my Christmas tree? Hang on, wait. The Christmas tree lights reflected in the TV. just noticed that. My Christmas tree's over there. Sci-Fi, I was looking forward to Krampus. Yes, so am I. I like that film. And then what? Then Sunday, another news stream, and then Monday, Christmas Day. Happy Christmas, everybody. Merry Christmas, Happy New Year, whatever. We're doing a James Bond double bill. The Spy Who Loved Me from 77 and Moonraker from 79. My two favourite James Bond films. I love them. Don't know why. I think it's because I think it was the first two James Bond films I saw at the cinema. I think I've only seen 3 James Bond films at the cinema. I think with them two, and I think Living Daylights. I don't think I've seen any others at the cinema. Anyway, so that's on Christmas Day. On earlier start time of 8 p.m. But, if you're busy, I understand. But I'll be here. Anyway, right. So we're going now. Great stream. See you soon. Take care. May the Schwartz be with you. Hey. And Josh Timber says, may not be here Friday, off early, and going to spend some time with that 93-year-old grandpa. You do right. You do right. You're going to compare harpoons, aren't you? You say, look, Grandpa, I've got this shiny new modern harpoon, and he's going to get his out that he used as a kid. Says, it's not as good as this one we had. But out of raw iron, where yours is like, titanium or something. That's what's going to happen. I know it is. But yes, have a nice time with your grandpa. Right, we're going. So thanks again, everybody. Josh and Sci-Fi Quest and Windgrace. Go subscribe to all those channels. I don't think Josh has a channel yet. Go follow his brother, Caleb Temple, on Instagram. Good artist. Good artist. But follow Sci-Fi Quest and subscribe to Sci-Fi Quest and subscribe to Windgrace. Nobody else popped in, did they? No, they didn't. No, they didn't. Just let me check. I better check the other streams before I go. Make sure I haven't got any messages. No, we haven't. None on Rumble. Nothing on Kick. I hope Kick worked. It's still there. But I don't think anybody's watched. I've no followers on Kick yet or anything. I don't even know how to work it. It's just like Twitch, really. It just looks like Twitch. But anyway. Josh Temple says he was a Navy guy. So, right. So we'll have a harpoon then, probably. So anyway. Right. So that's it. So I'm going now. So thanks for watching. Wherever you are, look after each other. And until next time, I'll say there.